Hello. Welcome back. My name is Jessica, and this is J. Gilly Tarot. You may book a personal reading with me at any time at jgilly.com. That's jgilly.com. All right. So this is just a wild card reading. I was trying to go to sleep and I couldn't. So my mind was like, I was getting so many downloads. And I was just like, okay, where am I going to put all this energy? Let me just go make a video real quick, so I don't forget when morning comes around. A lot of downloads came about water, and I felt collectively we should all be very diligent about our water sources, about our water consumption. Um, I felt that there was a collective like warning about water, about bodies of water. And then when I sat down to pull for this reading, I got sea serpent, shark, crow. Now, the crow is known for being extremely psychic, also being connected to the ancestors, keeping a watchful eye on things. So I definitely felt that this was a warning from ancestors, from people that have a bird's eye view of the situation. But it does feel like there's a bit of dragon energy around as well. That a serpent, a dragon energy is rising from ancient times, I'm going to have to say, is the download I'm getting. And a full circle moment. I really think that the energies right now, collectively, during this Mercury retrograde, the tail end of it, oh my gosh, have been so crazy. Like my sleep schedule's been so turned around. Um, I have a lot of energy one day and a lot of creative energy and downloads. And the next day, it's like knackered, it's napping all day, tired. I also feel a whole new energetic crown energy chakra opening that normally I have like my cone of power, and which is like rainbow colors, and activate that, and the trap door of energy that you push to, up to the etheric energies and heavens and things like that, for communication, for connection. But there's been a whole like different type of connection wisdom wise in the crown chakra for me. I can't really explain. It's just maybe a whole new door is the best way I can describe it. And I've also felt like protecting my energy, the sacred energy that I feel flowing. It's like unique frequency, like wisdom just for me. And I feel like that's what we're going through, each and every one of us in our own unique way, what the sacred frequency to tune into that we're channeling at this time for activations, for like to move forward in life, to move past restrictions or self-perceived restrictions or self-illusions, that kind of thing. It's a big time of transition, seeing through the illusions, seeing through the brick walls, and blasting through them with your unique way of doing things. I think we're kind of collectively healing on a global level, being gaslit for so long and then finally having truth and evidence and being our own investigators, is somewhat healing, because we've been told, don't do as I say, or don't do as I do as I say, like parents. Like society has been like those toxic parents that are like, yeah, don't look over here, nothing to see, but like wearing a mask, telling everyone it's all good, and we're picking up the rug and seeing all the dust underneath it. and it's a great time, but also a heavy time, a time of purging and cleansing, which is also the energy I get from the sea serpent. Um, again, big heavy on the water. I pulled from another deck as well. Look, water. Water is a holder of memory. This is why our biology becomes our biography. It holds the history that we tell it, and because we're more, the majority of us are water. And so you definitely need water for plasma activation in your body. It gets things moving, it gets things going. So the download I'm getting is electrolyte it up, stay hydrated, um, and also travel to rivers, bodies of water, natural bodies of water, springs, um, anything that will calm the nervous system and reconnect you to that element of water right now, crucial. Um, the next card I got is Know Your Value. And know the value of water. Like, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of like trying to steal the water right out from underneath us for these damn power plants, AI power plants, or whatever they're called, nuclear centers. I don't know. I've kind of had it with news media. Like, I'm getting my own news from my guides, and this morning, I gotta say, I was really annoyed. This morning and tonight when I was trying to go to sleep, I got a big download. Allegedly, Tom Hanks is about to be completely smeared all over probably the internet with truth tellers. And I hope so because I saw some scandal about chicken. Um, some type of text message or email where he blatantly admits that he's talking about chicken as a meal, but that it's connected to something far more nefarious. I also picked up when I asked to clarify, I got games. So his Instagram glove games also will be tied to this leaked tweet, or I'm sorry, text message or email. Okay, that's significant that I just said tweet right there. Yes, I know it's X. I'm like behind the times. Sue me. Um, it looks like he's trying to improve. Ooh, it looks like he's trying. That's a confirmation in itself for a message. It looks like he's trying to improve his image or keep the game going, and he's falling down a big set of stairs that are very, very steep is what I'm getting. That was the download, like, that's gonna be the next big thing, and I feel like it's also to take away from the truth speakers that are attacking Erica Kirk. I mean, I saw this summit, and I just, announcement that she had where men are going, it's like a men's summit, and it's like high schoolers and um college boys, and she just kept saying, "We're gonna pour into you." And I just like, oh my God, like every hair on my head like just stood up. All down my back. I was getting like not the good kind of chills, like something is very eerie and wrong here. And you could see the mind control at work in her aura, how she was suddenly the Miss USA pageant. beauty queen, whatever, left her, and she was suddenly had her hand in her pocket, and she was kinda being, like, butch, like, it was the version of her that was, like, trained to be a tomboy and basketball player talking to all these men, and I found it really interesting that Charlie came to me the day before talking about the family unit and how there needs to be a place where men can talk about how they're groomed and SA'd, and she, like, literally the next day made this announcement, so good on him for coming to me and, like, being ahead having a pulse on it, being one step ahead, giving me that collective message, but the fact that they don't wanna release anybody who's speaking and pouring into them and keeping it very secretive about everything that goes on in the summit, it just sounds more like cult activities and spinning a narrative, brainwashing, dare I say. Yeah, I don't know what parent would let their child go to this. Um, but I did have a dream I just remembered about archery. I remember her saying that in the summit, like proposed, like launch, whatever speech she gave to the auditorium. I remember a dream about archery and a bunch of guys and something going. There was a lake and some water there too. Something went awry. Interesting. Um, if more of the dream comes back to me, I'll let you know. But it was very eerie. Um, I immediately knew why I had channeled why there needs to be a safe place for men because literally right there, I could see through all the BS, like, "We're gonna pour into you. We're gonna you need a space where you can, you know, be you," and, it's feeding feeding the egos of these young, impressionable guys, and also just, like, a huge front. I mean, it's a huge front, and I've been channeling that since the beginning of, like, the Charlie Kirk since he's been coming to me, and I just feel a real sense of disappointment that this is what so much money is being poured into and funded, and it's not for these gentlemen's greatest good. I'll tell you that. I literally picked up the energy of it immediately. There's just so many inconsistencies with her, her energy, and also connections with the CIA and, like, her I completely forgot she was a beauty queen, like, duh. Like, she's art that I mean, the connection to Trump and Epstein, and just everything. I can't even give it more energy because I know my value and how much my attention everything is begging for my attention, and what I give my sacred energy to means something. So, the more that I can focus on what I want to increase exponentially in my life, the more I give that energy on the algorithm. But I just wanted to touch on that, because I think that there is some huge thing that will be leaked about Tom Hanks, so it can steer energy away from the case, so keep a lookout for distractions. You can always kinda see through with X-ray vision when you zoom out with a spiritual eye, so, don't be bamboozled or, over inundated with all the facts, or overwhelmed. You know, that word "overwhelm" has been coming up a lot. It's like, "Ooh, overwhelm, overwhelm, overwhelm." And, in the Mockingbird news with, TPUSA and all that stuff. So, um, Tom Hanks is gonna have a huge fall from grace is what I'm getting, and they're using it as a distraction, but it's also gonna be there will be truth tucked in there, quite a bit of it, and I'm sure all the internet sleuths will uncover all the truths, and it will bring up a resurgence of the Isaac Cappy story, I feel. Now, Isaac Cappy has been one of the warriors and whistleblowers from, like 10 years ago. I remember, like, 5 years ago when I went down a rabbit hole and found all of his conversations and leaked texts, and threads that he was sharing, like, in a private forum. I forget what it was, but there was also, like, leaked lawyer cases and, like, uh, file numbers and things like that, case numbers. And I went down a deep rabbit hole one night, and I remember when I got done with it and all about the Seth Green stuff, I also feel like he will be outed and something will come out too that's gonna be the next big downfall. Um, I think that's why they also gave him all these last minute, um these big I've seen him on some big endorsements, like YouTube ads and stuff for, like, energy drinks, and maybe they're doing and a lot of mini me, like, Austin Powers stuff. It's almost like they're giving him one last tour, like, giving him uh, a few freebies before he's, like, excommunicated. That's what I think happens in Hollywood. Like, you're going to be up for the humiliation ritual and you're gonna be X'd out and you're done when they kinda throw you all this stuff your way when when everything was crickets. It's like a last goodwill tour. That's my personal opinion. But, with Tom Hanks as well, there's just so many things, that can't be undone, and he's like the scapegoat, and they decided to toss him. So we're gonna see a lot there, and I also think that this is gonna be a huge case in which we see just how much celebrities are puppeted, um, and how much they use their celebrity status, to work around everyday laws and things. In particular, I'm getting restaurants with Tom Hanks. I don't know why, and the reference to chicken. Um There's a connection there, something that Charlie Kirk is wanting me to make with Erica's stuff, and I've constantly been focusing on the fact that this is boys. Like, with the politics, it's focused on its transport, their trade, their preference is boys. Yes, females. We have seen it. Yes, females, are heavily oppressed and horribly abused, and but that's more, like, known, and we're seeing that with, the Epstein files, but there's something that they're wanting me to point out about men, young men and boys, and a connection with Tom Hanks. I think that he's a big player in the situation, and kinda like, I guess, the next Epstein, the one that's gonna take a fall, and to save others above him. That's the feeling I'm getting. Okay, let's pull some more cards. Can you tell us more about what we need to know? How can we prepare for this? Stay focused, action, excitement, and surprises in rapid progress at work. Potential travel for business, high motivation, fast movement, money with cash flowing in and quickly out. Interesting. There is hope that the truth will come out. However, I just don't feel that anything is everly properly met with justice. I mean, we've seen it with P. Diddy. This is all allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I keep saying that just because I don't want this video taken down. But I'm also getting an obsessive pursuit. I got the chariot in reverse. So an obsessive pursuit of love, being overly forceful in relationships, diminished ambition, aggressive. So what I'm picking up is that this is definitely the physical abuse card. And I am getting in particular that Tom Hanks is getting a little bit too comfortable or too big for his britches. Um, Thinking he can get away with the posts that he has. I think someone has been investigating him and collecting quite a bit of evidence that um, will be a huge shift in a relationship for him. Dynamics and power. Is this his wife? Let's see. I mean, the dynamic shift. I don't think she's the one investigating him, but let's see. Yeah, she's not the one investigating him, but is this the person that No, it's another female that has been oppressed by him and slighted by him way too many times, and she needs to be freed from the shackles. She has 3 other testimonies or 3 other victims that are testifying with her, and there's a huge investigating going on and possibly a child. You see why I couldn't go to bed? Um, Now I haven't seen anything about Tom Hanks recently at all. So, I'm gonna be shocked. Also, this card is popping out at me, this shark. He has a thirst for blood, a nose for blood as well, or should it say red stuff. And then I heard that's not a word. Untypical, uncommon thirst for blood and torture. And quite arrogant. I definitely see that in his aura as well. I can believe it. I can believe it when I look at him. Almost a narcissistic personality where he demands attention. It's like he chooses to talk very slowly and to be ambiguous, to come off as he's like being funny or sharp. I don't know. Yeah, he celebrated too soon with something. He returned to something too quickly and didn't fly under the radar. That's what's getting him caught up, is what I'm picking up, being too arrogant. We've got a high priestess in the house. So one of his victims is coming forward and 3 others behind her. Lots of 3s. And something coming out about how he reels them in. Something to do with social media, lots of connecting the dots. It turns into a big, huge investigation. Anything of value you can tell, Spirit? I'm picking up an O name. So, like, O'Brien. Oh, like, I don't know. I was about to say Eisenhower, kinda like, but Owenheim, something kinda like that. Oppenheimer? Maybe it's Oppenheimer. Yeah, something like that. Also, the photographs are gonna be what puts the nail in the coffin for his case. And it's gonna be quite ruthless and brutal. People are gonna be shocked that this A-list celebrity, because this is gonna be like the first A-list celebrity that has this public downfall, I feel. Like Ben Affleck a little bit, but it was covered up in PR. Um, with like his nanny and stuff like that and all. But no, this is gonna open up a whole bunch of cold cases, is what I'm picking up. 11, I just heard. Also, too, I wanted to mention that the universe right now, the grid line is reflecting 111s everywhere. If you are on the ascension path and you're doing the inner work to raise your frequency, to be in the know, to be a truth speaker, you will be seeing 111s everywhere right now. So, just a little tidbit. I know XRP was at 111 today for a long time too. It's just everywhere. And it's also you, the self-love being that you show to yourself is being returned and externally reflected back. So important self-care right now. That's also the crow is about cleansing, self-care, keeping your eye on the prize, staying focused. This also looks like an eye to me. You know, and this is also what the ice walls, the center, where the 4 black onyx, I think they're black onyx, mountains. It's like a huge portal, a pole where 4 rivers run to the center. And it's like the center of the eye. You could look at Earth as at the land, the known lands and the unknown lands beyond the ice walls look exactly like an eye. There's 2 other rings. And you can get to all those areas and other worlds through the center. So this is why they call Black Rock Black Rock. They try to monopolize it. And that's why they own everything. So that's why they named the company BlackRock, in my opinion. So anyway, back on topic. What were we talking about? Yes, 111. So everything is being reflected back at us. There are grid line upgrades right now. And very important to sit on trees, put your feet on trees, touch a tree, get those negative ions you've lost throughout your day with fluorescent lights and staying inside with the same air being thrust on you. Get outside, put your pineal gland towards the sun gaze, because this will activate ancient wisdom inside of you and a remembering of the junk DNA activation and all past life skills and things. It's a very beautiful time. So, also the number 7 is sticking out at me. It is the 7th month of July. This is in numerology the number of spirituality and the spiritual path, walking a spiritual path. If you are on, I'm sure you're on that journey if you're watching this video. So I'm seeing that the collective here that's watching this video is getting lots of signs and signals, in particular signals. So you may be picking up on tones and frequencies way more than usual. I know I have. I hear weird things, particularly in my bathroom, which is next to water. I can't pick it up. Next to water. They know we're ascending. I feel like they're trying to stop, hinder the ascension process and the activation process, the remembering process, because they know they're losing their grip. They're losing control. And the more that people find out, the more people see through the veil, see like X-ray vision through the lies, the more that they know their value and can't be controlled. So keep going, collective. Keep going with your efforts. The spiritual army is here. That's what I just heard. I just also heard they're trying to put an overlay of frequencies. Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense. So, bells help to instantly raise the frequency, and salt baths cleanse it. I know I'm like a broken record. What else would you like to say to us, Spirit? Oh, yeah. So let me see. This reminds me. Okay. I saw a little bit of the Candace Owens and Ryan, Sean Ryan show interview. And the little bit that I caught, I think I watched like 15. I can only get 15, 20 minutes on anything. Like, I feel like I'm just guided and like pick up on the part that I'm supposed to see, and that's it. And on the part that I saw, I felt like Sean Ryan was timid and almost felt completely seen through by Candace Owens. I don't know if anybody else felt like that in the interview. It felt like he was hiding something a little bit. That was my energetic take on it, psychic read on him. A little bit like, "Ugh, I don't know what to say. I don't know where to land." And it was more out of fear of him being seen through by Candace. That was so. Put a comment down below if you agree with me. I found that kind of weird. Um, and possibly very telling. Like, I was rubbing some dirt that got off on my tarot deck, and things like that always happen in synchronicity. That's a message, that's a read. And like, he felt like he had some dirt to rub off or cover up before he sat down and talked with her. That's what I'm getting. Oh, here we go. We got a priest, the Hierophant. Again, I feel there's a warning there with the cardinal and people that are surrounding themselves around Candace right now. Anything else? I'm not going to stay on this too long. I got to say, I'm a little bit annoyed. I need to take a break from it, from the energy of it, because it's just so much every day, all day long. And I wanted to be kind of like a force that, or a spiritual channel that can help direct the distractions or soften the blow, like with purpose, or why, and help to decode things so people aren't distracted by the lies. My nervous system gets really irritated when I watch, like, when I have to comb through all the evidence and stuff. I'm just like, okay, this is baloney. Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm losing brain cells watching this right now. Like, when I was watching Erica's like summit broadcast, launch, whatever speech, I literally it was painful for me. I was like, "I'm losing brain cells right now." Like, oh, she's so nauseating. I'm sorry, and I hate to talk bad about people, but when you do these kind of horrible crimes and offenses and then try to wear a mask like you're this amazing, upstanding character and person in society, it pisses me off, not gonna lie. Like, it just pisses me off. It pissed me off when I was a kid when adults said, "Do as I say, not as I do." Like, no, you hypocrite. You lying hypocrite. You lying mofo, right? Look at this. Now, I do see there is defeat and the blonde is sticking out to me. So, I do feel like someone is gonna turn on her. I've been saying this for a while now. I did get that it was gonna be a girlfriend, a close girlfriend that was gonna leak, text messages and kinda throw her under the bus, but also now it's a male I'm picking up that's more of a heavy influencer than the girl. The girl's, like, kinda in the background, in the back of the scenes. Not many people know her. They know of her because they see her just by association with Erica Kirk, but, um, I'm seeing someone at TPUSA is gonna be blowing the whistle, so that is good news. That's the first time I ever picked that up. She did him dirty, but, I mean, she does everybody dirty. It's not surprising. I'm also getting a W name, so William or Walt or whatever W name there is. Something like with TPUSA, a W name, and creative intelligence. Interesting. CIA immediately is coming out at me. A compassionate yet steady partner, earning respect and admiration through wisdom, achieving financial security, being realistic yet hopeful about financial matters. So maybe like an ex-CIA agent or something. Um, Someone associated with the CIA intelligence, but he now is giving me like a sense of like independence. I also feel a connection to TPUSA. Has TPUSA ever had a CIA intelligent agents working for them? Because there's something there. The CIA, it looks like CIA has actually infiltrated TPUSA. Something's breaking off. This guy's breaking off, being independent. Is this a psyop though? Let me see. You never can trust those. Is this a psyop? No. Okay. He's doing it to save himself and his family. They must be really on the struggle bus over there at TPSA because they can't cover up the lies. um, I'm getting Erica. He just pointed out to answer some of the questions I remember seeing on the comments of the previous videos. I asked if Erica was at the scene where he was shot. I gotta know. Where Charlie was shot. Was she in Phoenix? For real? Yeah. I think she was in Phoenix when it happened, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere west. You know, I should know this because I've watched Baron Coleman's like breakdown of the planes, but again, my eyes were crossed by the end of it. So I don't know. There's something significant about Phoenix, and I feel connected to Erica, where she in relation to where she was when he was shot. So And I say shot like this because really I think something happened in the car ride. And in fact, this reminds me, um, I don't feel that it was, like, actually a bullet that killed him. I do feel whenever I tap into how he passed away, because the spirit will sometimes take me through and I will feel the pain of what they felt. I immediately got, like, feelings of cold glass coming from the chest up on one side of the neck. And also my elbow felt like it was bent all the way backwards, like hyperextended, like snapped almost. So I don't know if anyone has said anything about his right elbow. Um, but there's something significant about his right elbow, and I felt like it felt like my right elbow was bent all the way backwards, and then I got, like, nerve damage, like, feeling, like, right here in these 3 fingers, mostly in the middle finger. So, I don't know if someone was making sure he was destabilized and wouldn't move in the car. I don't know anything about how Marines or, like, why am I saying Marine? I don't know. I'm an ex-Marine. I don't know why I'm saying that. But it felt like in the car, okay, so, like, the seat that is, if you're looking at an overhead shot of the car and this is the front and this is the back, the seat that had the most blood on it, that's where I feel something was bent with his arm. Like, that's where his arm was injured a little bit, and I don't know why I'm focusing on this, but this is just my medium abilities. Like, like, he felt it, and he brought me through the feeling of his arm. So there's significant something with the elbow. It was like the funny bone and almost being, like, banged and then bent back. So it almost feels like a tactic, like, snapped back. Almost like a tactic to, I don't know, to put someone in shock or to keep them immobile. That's what I'm getting. And, yeah, I'm surprised just as you are as I'm channeling this. But it was on that seat and the person associated with that seat that had the blood and, like, kind of like mid-chair. This might explain why the microphone shards are everywhere. I wish I would have done this live so you could see this live, but I'm gonna, like, upload this literally 2 seconds, after I end this from StreamYard. So, yeah, there's no breaks in this. I'm just y'all will have to give me some feedback. You guys have been amazing. I know this reading's all over the place. It's a late night reading. Apologies. I thought I was gonna do a love reading, and these stupid celebrities just keep pulling me back in. I don't know why I'm getting all this stuff. Anyway, I wanted to be positive and I wanted to be spiritual and do some spiritual TikTok videos, but Spirit had a different agenda. So, what else do we need to know? I heard everything's upside down. Everything's the opposite of what they're saying it is. Literally, in the trial. They have a lot of doppelgangers, I heard him say. We'll call them doppelgangers. So the whole thing is just narcissist. I heard him say narcissist, shenanigans. I heard him say, for Pete's sake. I don't know. Through all of this, I never knew Charlie Kirk before this. I knew of him and learned of him through his death. But what I will say when he comes to me is he uses his hands a lot. Like, I can always tell when he's coming because he's like very expressive with his hands and covering his mouth and things like that. It's like a whole language in itself with his hands, I feel. So he was like, shenanigans, for Pete's sake, like and the summit thing he just said is just a disgrace. I keep hearing him say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to all of those families that this will affect that summit. And again, he wants to keep the focus on the children, the young, the future generations. And he just keeps saying, keep fighting the fight. Keep paying attention to pattern recognition and the details that don't look right, because they're not. They're not right. Question everything. Yeah. The Emperor card is what I got. Mic drop. Yeah. He wants to be a leader in that regard still from the spirit realm. So we'll see how this unfolds. They'll turn the page. There's another crisis, another scandal, but the pattern's always the same, he says. Pay attention to the pattern. And something significant he's saying about the car, the way the forensics handled processing of the DNA in the car and the blood and the items, he says, is absolutely laughable. It's a joke. So yeah. All right. Now let's end this on a positive note. I wanted to share some spiritual little hacks that might help you through this Mercury retrograde. 1 second. Okay, here we go.
Definitely not the first person to do this, but you are going to put cinnamon on pineapple in this track. Okay, put it on. You can use Brave browser, which you can watch it without the ads. And what you're going to do is follow along with me. Okay, so it's going to go do. Okay, put your hands up. Set, like her wings. Nebet, you become the Ankh.
We're all gonna look.
You are fully the Ankh.
A little nutty doing this.
The more that you do that, the more that your life is going to move forward. Just watch. It's definitely not going to hurt. And if it does hurt, then stop doing it. But I did this a lot just before I went viral. And I've been doing it again lately to see the effects, and like the effects are pretty cool. So again, your dua, which is saying praise to dua, because she's up there, we're receiving her love of the great goddess. Aset, because she has her wings open and ready.
Up here, down here.
Nebet, again, I think this has more to do with the wings, but again, I'm not questioning these as I'm doing them. I just do them. And this makes sense as the wings as well. And then you become the Ankh. So the Ankh has these arms as well. So we're like finishing off the Ankh with this. Okay? Try it out. See how it moves your life forward. If it doesn't, who cares? You can do it on your own. I do this in the shower, actually. Nobody sees me. So do it. You can do it in private. Nobody has to see you. Nobody's going to judge you. They're going to judge me because I'm on video telling you to do this. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right. So that's our little fun spiritual hack for the day. Go try it. Hopefully you heard the audio. I'm still having tech issues with the mic. Whenever I have my mic plugged in, I can't hear it. So hopefully you can hear it. But that's one that I've been, trying lately. And don't make fun of my t-shirt. This is like on its last leg, but it's my favorite t-shirt. And it's like ripped in the most perfect spots that it almost looks intentional. It's like my favorite t-shirt, but it's on its last leg. So yeah, try that at home. Frequency with bells, Rife machines, a sound frequency machine, whatever you can get your hands on to raise your vibration right now is extremely important, especially if you feel like you're targeted by certain individuals or targeted by certain geomagnetic frequencies that come from deep within the earth. If you live in very populated cities or near DUMBs and feel like you're getting headaches, pressure headaches lately, feeling more dehydrated than normal, this will also help electrolytes, and hydrate. But I think there's a lot that's coming down the pipeline, and I think we're going to see the next couple of weeks it ease up. And I think by July 23rd, we'll have a lot of shifts in the media, a lot of revelations, but everything will start to settle in a vibration and a frequency that is less disruptive, less ungrounded. It feels like you've turned a corner in your life where you can move forward, where you can breathe a little bit easier. Yeah. And also, with CERN being turned off, everyone's saying that time is slowing down a little bit. The days feel like you have more time and you can be more present. So take advantage of it. And if it's just a placebo effect, take advantage of that too. So yeah. Until next time, my friends, love and light.